I am going to be the mentor for today. So my name is Lisa Simpkinson. Super excited to be here today. Lovely to have you all with me, and I can't wait to go through this webinar with you all. A little bit about myself. I am the founder of Village Pilates, and Village Pilates is a studio in St. Ives. Um, and it is a seven-figure studio. So it is a boutique studio, and we are busy. Yeah, we have a lot of clients, and I have tested everything that I'm about to teach you on my own space. Um, I have been in the Pilates industry for over 20 years now. My actual studio is over 20 years as well. Before being a Pilates instructor and a studio owner, I was a dancer, so I actually practiced Pilates from the ripe old age of, I think, about 12 or 13. Um, I am the first Pilates instructor globally to have trained in the whole woman approach. And the whole woman approach is all about female pelvic health. And so I was the first one then to integrate that into the Pilates industry, not just in Australia, but in the entire world. What else? Um, we actually won, yeah, our studio won 2024 Best Pilates Studio in the Northern Beaches. We actually also won 2025 Best Fitness Studio in the North Shore, in the Hornsby area and the Upper North Shore, which is amazing. I am trained in contemporary dance, and I have that training. I have a degree in contemporary dance, which I got from London Contemporary Dance School many, many years ago now. I am the mother of four. Yes, four boys. And so, yeah, I've been balancing family life with a long-term business and the success of the business. So my business is older than all of my kids. So I was growing the business whilst also having many, many children. Um, I lead and I mentor my beautiful team. You can see in the photo there, that's just a little snippet of us all at our annual retreat. I take all my team away every year. Um, and yeah, actually 18, I think I've actually, yes, 18 instructors, but my team is 21 because I have some full-time admin people as well. And I do educate, and I am a teacher trainer with with Polestar Pilates and a member of the PAA. So that's a little bit about me. Housekeeping. If you missed my memo at the start, I want to see your beautiful faces. So please pop your cameras on. It makes this a much better, beautiful connection. I love interaction. So throw any questions that you have in the chat and I will tackle them as we go along. The session is recorded and it will be sent to you after we finish today. And obviously take notes. So if you don't have a pen or paper or something nearby, go and grab it super quick and then come back and join the fun. So who is today for? And I have two screens, so my apologies when my eyes kind of dart in and around and all over the shop. It's just me making sure I don't lose track of everything. So today is going to be for current studio owners. All right. So if you're currently owning a studio, hats off to you. It is not a simple thing to do, and I've got some really cool things to help you out. What about if you're thinking about owning a studio? This webinar is definitely going to be helpful. I wish I knew this information before I started my own studio. If you're an individual really wanting to become a next level instructor, all of this information is also going to be relevant for you as well. And if you're a wellness professional and you're looking to incorporate Pilates into your practice, there's going to be some really, really helpful hints for you guys also. Okay, what to expect from today? So we're going to go through obviously 5 of my secrets, and that first secret is the mastering of human behavior. The second secret is all about business mastery. The third one is about how to create impactful classes. And then the fourth one is all based on personal development. And number 5, networking and community building. So that all sounds pretty good to me. So before we go any further, I just want you guys to, you can scan that code, and this is an opportunity to touch base with me. Like, no pressure. It's more if you find something that really resonates with you today and you want to have a one-on-one chat just to understand what maybe your next steps will be, please book in a clarity call. I'm going to throw the link in the chat so you can also copy and paste that link, but otherwise, just grab your phone, scan that QR code, and I'd love to have a free chat with you. So there's no pressure involved at all. So we're going to move ahead now. So the first secret is mastering human behavior. So a really cool tool that I use with the people that I mentor, it's the six basic human needs. Okay. And this is something that it's all about the as I've written here, like client psychology, how to enhance connection and motivations. Because let's be honest, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we're doing all the time. So let's understand these human behaviors with a little bit more depth. So certainty is that first human behavior. And we need to think like, why is this important? We all want to feel secure, we want to feel safe, and we also want to feel like we're in control. That's a really big human need. Now, just a side note, of the six, you might have one or two that are like more of your higher needs. So not all six are going to be equal, and they're going to vary for different people. So I want to give you an example. We had one of my mentors had kind of almost a moment with a client, and it was a bit of a surprise. So this client of hers used to see a couple of different instructors. Um, and then one day the client was coming in to see one of the instructors, but that instructor happened to be sick. How often does that happen? All the time. So she then changed her client to see the other instructor, which the client also sees every week. But this client, it was pretty obvious that certainty was such a high need for her because the client really didn't do well with that change. And then started to cancel out of things and just kind of went from being a consistent client to yeah, not being that responsive or not being reliable anymore. And so my suggestion was to just really implement, and not just for this client, but maybe for all the clients, just implement a process to say, okay, if there is a change, how can we notify clients in advance so they are prepared? Because I would have to say a lot of people love certainty. If you are a Pilates instructor and you're covering a class and those clients have not been told, you know what I'm talking about, the face that you get when you walk in the room. So this is a game changer, and it really helped her to bring that client back in. They had an open conversation about it as well. It would also help to retain a lot of clients because those clients felt secure. They felt like they were in control, and that really helped, yeah, to kind of calm them down. So when they walked into the studio, they knew what to prepare. So this is a really important one, and I highly recommend it. So the second one that we're going to, or second one of the needs is variety and certainty. So variety and certainty, why is this important? Well, because if everything was the same and predictable, we'd get so bored, wouldn't we? We get so bored. So we really want variety. We want to spice things up. We love surprises. And again, some clients are going to love this more than other clients, but it's really, really a great one to play around with. So the next one that we're going to be looking at is significance. And with significance, again, it's that like, well, why is it that it's important to bring it into a Pilates studio? Well, everyone likes to feel unique, everyone wants to feel important, and everyone really loves to feel valued. So we need to sprinkle that into what we're doing. Number four, love and connection. All right. So this is a beautiful one, isn't it? And I think we do a great job in Pilates studios. So why do we need love and connection? Well, it's a survival thing as well. We need that connection. emotional well-being, a sense of belonging. You want your clients to be coming into the studio and feeling like they belong. Um, I'll give you an example. I've been to many studios over the years to do workshops and things like that. And there are some studios that I walked into or walk into, and there is no sense of connection. And I actually won't go back there. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about what you're creating for the clients that are coming into your space. What are we looking at now? We're looking at growth. So the fifth basic human need. And so growth keeps us from getting stagnant. It pushes us to progress, and it leads us to feel that feeling of really being alive. All right, everyone has this feeling. So again, how can you put that into a really successful Pilates business, or if you're an instructor really looking to up level, how can you create a sense of growth in what you're doing? And then we're going to look at the sixth and final one, which is contribution. And so we all have deep down, remember, these are the six basic human needs. We all have them, varying degrees, but we all have them. And so we have this desire to give back, to make a difference. We like to feel like there's a sense of purpose, and or feel that there's more than just us. Like we can help, and we can go beyond ourselves and reach out to others. So that's what contribution is all about. So moving on from this first point, oh, this is beautiful, Monica. Yes, so I am Monica's mentor. Um, Monica is a gorgeous instructor. What she was doing, I just want to touch base here. She was really struggling to get full classes. That was where her struggle was. And we actually tapped into with her sessions, we tapped into the six basic human needs as kind of like a starting point. And we started to incorporate that into how she was teaching her classes, how she was connecting with her clients. And now her classes waitlisted. She really, really has understood those six basic human needs, and worked and refined them, made them her own, which I think is really important. Oh, I didn't change the slide for you guys. There we go. Ta-da! This is what I'm talking about. This is the gorgeous Monica. So I just wanted to share a bit about not just how all these things have worked for me, but they have definitely worked for the people that I'm mentoring as well. All right, so we're going to move on to secret number two. And so that is business mastery. We have an entity, okay? The business, I've given it the little symbol of being a tree because the business is something that is going to be growing and is something that is going to be changing and evolving and things like that. And we need to treat it like that. So the first of our six must-dos in this area is all about purpose, okay? And purpose is, it gives you direction. Say no more. Every business needs a purpose. Every person needs a purpose. So you really want to this is all about kind of closing your eyes, looking into the future, and then to take that moment to truly imagine what you truly want. All right. So that's where purpose is going to be found. So it's not out there. You have to kind of take a moment and see where you want to end up. Now, the next one that we're going to be jumping into with business mastery is joy. You got to do what you love. It sounds so simple and so basic. The amount of people that I have met over the years that are just working again in a studio that doesn't align with them and doesn't bring them joy. My goodness. And they've just changed some simple things. Maybe they've relocated to a different studio and that's completely changed where they're at. So please, please, please have joy. All right. Numbers. We love numbers. Well, that's what we need to tell ourselves. Of course, we love numbers. Your business needs money. Your family needs money. If you have a team, your team, they are trusting you basically to support them. And chances are your team has a family. Um, so you are responsible for a lot of people. And if you don't know your numbers, for me, that is, it's actually just irresponsible. And yeah, it needs to be, oh my goodness. For me, it's a daily thing. Um, I think every 2 days, maybe, but definitely you need to be on top of it. So I'll leave you with that one. Please, 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 please know your numbers and be on top of your numbers. So we'll move on now to the next point, which is to nourish. So just like we do in our industry, we nourish people. Um, I need you to nourish your business. You need to nourish your business. Remember, it's a tree. It needs to grow. Um, and so we need to be, it's easy to love what's there, um, and to nourish like the people that work for you, the clients that come and visit you, the location you're at, giving that kind of entity the nourishment it needs is way simpler than having to replace every single year. Thinking about having to, like, I don't know, if you have a garden, imagine having to pull up all your plants every single year and start again. All right. So care for it like a little grapevine as well. All right. Please nourish. Do you think I really want you to nourish? I think you got the point now. Okay. Evolve. All righty. If your business, um, if your business doesn't evolve, it's either going to just keep repeating the same patterns, or it's going to die. A lot of businesses don't survive past the first 4 years, for example. So keep thinking like that. You cannot be stagnant. Um, and a really good example of this would be when Netflix was coming out and Blockbuster videos. If you're old like I am, you'll remember Blockbuster videos. But they looked at what Netflix was doing. They're like, that'll never take off. We're fine. We're going to keep our little DVDs in their covers in a shop front where people have to come and borrow the DVD and then bring it back a few days later to, you rent it and you bring it back. And they just thought Netflix had no idea what they were doing. Well, Blockbuster went out of business. It went from a huge business and then gone skis very quickly. Same thing with Uber and taxis. All right. Uber came out, taxis was like, no, 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 no. Those drivers, they're not up to scratch. They will never, that will never take off. People will never, use it. And of course, what's happening? Well, Uber has taken over and taxis are definitely struggling. So you don't want your Pilates business to be like the taxi business. Okay, the sixth one, the must-dos. This is going to be, here we go, click that slide. And this is all about alignment. Okay. And this, what do I mean about alignment? Alignment of all you do, all you say, all that you feel. So you've got to align all those things. And why do we need to do this? Okay, so like energy centers or chakras, if there is a blockage, and there's misalignment, it means things are not going to be flowing. Maybe ideas aren't going to be flowing. Um, Actions that you're doing are going to clash because there's misalignment there. Okay, so bring alignment into everything that you are doing. Okay, secret number 3. So this is all about create impactful classes. Okay, we want to really teach to transform. Now, again, I have been teaching for a long time. I have taught, oh gosh, over 10,000 clients. And these are my top tips for creating an impactful class. So tip number 1, let me get changing our slides again. We want to train with the best. Okay, train with the best. Why? You and your clients deserve that, and it's absolutely worth the financial investment. Okay, so please, please, please train with the best. All right, the next one. You are where you are. That's deep, isn't it? Okay, what do I mean by that? maybe you've been teaching like me for over 20, oh gosh, 22 years now. Um, maybe you're in your first year. Maybe you're still a student. Maybe you've been teaching for 5 years. That's what I mean by you are where you are. So if you focus on the destination and the comparison with others, so if you have just literally finished your training and you go, oh, I want to teach like so and so. I know you want to teach like me, all right? You can't. You haven't been teaching long enough to be able to teach like me. And also, you'll never teach like me because I'm not you and you're not me and you're your own person. So rather than focusing on this, it's almost like that concept of I'll be happy when I get that and I'll be happy when I get that. Really be present in the now. Otherwise, all of this comparison and all of this thinking that you're at a place which you can't get to unless you have the experience behind you, again, it's not aligning and it'll actually stunt your growth. It's like I have a 7-year-old, and it's like him wanting to be the same age as his eldest brother, who's nearly 15. It's like he's never going to be 15 now. He'll be 15 in a few years' time. But like no matter how much he wills it and no matter how much he wants it, he's never going to be 15. And if he tries and tries and tries, it's just going to create angst and he's not going to be happy about it. Okay. So just be where you're at and be really appreciative of that fact. All right. Number 3. Woohoo. This is a big one. You first. You first. You must embody the movement in your own body first. Okay. Why is this important? Well, then you can teach from a place of knowing and really knowing, not just like in theory, the exercises, it's that knowing like that whole body, mind, and soul. And so when you're teaching it, you can really teach it from a place, again, of alignment. Have you ever been taught something by someone who actually really doesn't know what they're talking about? It doesn't feel right. Maybe they haven't told you they don't know what they're talking about, but because you can sense it. Okay, next point. Number 4, top tip, teach in the present. It's totally fine to plan a class, okay? But we want to be teaching the people that are in front of you and not from a lesson plan. And why is that? Well, because the clients deserve that attention. They are paying good money to do Pilates. They deserve that attention. And it's less draining on you. Okay. If you're coming in with a lesson plan and you're forcing something on a particular class or a person that isn't aligning with them on that day, it's draining. It's draining. And it just ends up with a bad class and you don't feel good and they don't feel good. Okay. Now, the next part is teaching with compassion and not judgment. Why do we want to do this? We don't know. We do not know what our client is going through. And so that's why we need to have compassion when they walk into the studio for their session. And also, an interesting part, and this is for your self-awareness, is to know that those that judge the most are the ones that feel the most judged. So just have a little moment to register that and see if that is relevant for you. It's probably relevant for all of us. So those that judge the most are actually deep down the ones that feel the most judged. So we're going to move on to our 6th and final tip. And this one is one of my faves. This is all about personalities. Personality types and knowing personality types. I do a huge amount of work in my mentor sessions with my clients because this is key. So why do we need to do this? Clients will trust you quicker as you can connect with them easier and it brings in the compassion side of things as well because you understand their personality type. So number 6, as I said, definitely a favorite of mine. Oh my goodness, I forgot there was one more. Here I am saying 6. No, there is 7. And you've already learnt it. We already went through it. Bring in those 6 basic human needs to your class. And I promise if you can do all 7 of these things, definitely you'll be creating a super duper impactful class. And I cannot wait to see it. All right. Oh, the gorgeous Vanessa. Again, just sharing another little testimonial from one of the ladies that I do mentor. Um, and I'll just read it out. Vanessa's a gorgeous human. It's a privilege to be able to work with Lisa, knowing that she has trained many of the mentors whose style I tend to veer towards. Gives me the confidence to know that with her, I am better able to polish my skills and methods in a manner that is most true to myself. With her many years of experience, Lisa brings an incredible depth of knowledge and passion to her training sessions. She sets herself apart by giving gentle guidance and allowing students to find their own style and learn at their own pace. Um, I, I did a lot of work with Vanessa. She was one of my, she's one of the instructors that I work with who was kind of stuck on, if we go back to what we were just discussing, she was about not really, she had to be where she was at. She was comparing herself and trying to be something that she wasn't. So we did a lot of work on that, and that really lifted her up. And she was struggling to actually get clients and keep them. And that really turned it around for her, which was great. Okay, so let's move on to our next secret. Where is my mouse gone? Okay, so personal development, that is a massive one. Integrate mindfulness and self care to avoid burnout and sustain your passion. Um, this one is big, and um, this is a lot of I've been down the burnout path. So this is a whole lot of stuff that I have personally done myself, actually everything I've done, but this really kind of hits home for me, these ones. And I work on this stuff all the time, again, with the instructors that work at my studio, plus also the instructors and studio owners that I mentor. So the first one, who would have guessed it? Slow down. Easier said than done. I know. But why do we need to slow down? It's the only way to really start understanding yourself. Um, you need to take out the noise and slow down to just see where you're at, and start to, yeah, as I said before, like start to know yourself without everything else happening around you. All right, next one. Be curious. I like to think about this one as being like a child. If you never stop to ask why you do certain things, why you might say certain things, why you react or you behave in certain ways, then you can't possibly have um, an awareness to where to go, to how to develop. So to be like a child, it's really about kind of questioning. My kids always like, why mum? Why mum? Why mum? Why is the sky blue? Why is that da, da, da? And they keep asking the why on top of the why, and you get to a point it's like, I don't know if there's another deeper answer to this. So that's what I mean by being like a child. Ask yourself why, and then layer it again, and why again. And that's going to really give you a lot of insight into, again, who you are. Be curious about who you are. And then the next one is about help. It's hard to ask for help. This took me many years to figure out. So we need to find help. Um, and that's in the form of really getting a great mentor, a great coach, and you want someone that can show you more perspectives and that isn't afraid to really ask those really hard questions. Um, and then why do we need to do this? It all kind of relates back to all the other points as well. Nothing grows in safe spaces, and we can't do the work alone. So this is something that, uh, can I say it's like my number one? Oh, they're all combined. I can't say it's my number one, but definitely ask for help. Find someone awesome that you can connect with. Okay, out with the old. Okay, what do I mean by that? Let's talk about this in terms of out with the old beliefs that you may have, and also out with the old stories that you might keep telling yourself, and maybe even telling other people, anyone that will listen. And why? Because if you don't get rid of the old beliefs, get rid of the old stories, you are going to keep getting stuck and you are going to stunt your growth. All right. And then we go to our next one. Um, the outside reflects the inside. Okay. So the outside reflects the inside. So as within, so without. If, for example, you're an instructor or you have a studio and you keep complaining about stuff that's happening outside, let's bring it back in. So if you work on yourself, and then what will happen? The ripples of change start to reflect in the outside world. So you first, and then that will flow out. And then the last one of these, in terms of personal development, is going to be about transformation. And we want to think transformation just like a butterfly. And I'm all about body, mind, and soul. And so our soul's purpose in life is to evolve. It has to evolve. That's why we've been put on this earth. So if you don't evolve, you're just going to repeat. So keep looking on how to better yourself and how to transform. Okay, we're going to move on to secret number 5. I forgot which one we're up to, which number we're up to. Secret number 5. So networking and community building. And so I'm going to break this down into the 5 C's. Connect with like-minded professionals and grow your support network. So let's move on to number 1 of these 5 C's. So connection is the first of the 5 C's. This one is key for growth. It also relates back to those basic human needs. So it's one of the 6 basic human needs. We cannot create a business without having connection to others in our industry. It just doesn't happen. So then we'll move on to our second one, and that is contribution. So contribution, this is lost my train of thought. Okay, I'm back. This is not about it's not about just taking. Yeah, we must give, we must contribute. And why? My belief is that was not just my belief. I'm going to say this is fact. We want to be able to grow our industry, the Pilates industry. We want to be able to better the industry, and we want to be able to really help those around us to make this industry sensational. So we want to contribute. We don't want to keep it all for ourselves. It's like me knowing all this information and not sharing it with you guys. We want to share it. We want to make sure that everybody is lifting the game. Okay. Third one, collaboration. It's super simple, hey? Collaboration creates opportunities. So put yourself out there. Collaborate as much as possible. Celebration. So I don't know how you guys feel, but sometimes I forget to celebrate everything that's happening. So the encouragement here is to celebrate the industry, others' achievements, your own achievements, like any excuse to celebrate, do it. And why would we want to do that? Man, we want to release those happy hormones. And when you celebrate, it does. And business is hard. We all know that, otherwise everyone would do it. So business is hard. And so taking that time to get the happy hormones flowing and to really kind of pat yourself on the back and pat others on the back of all that they have achieved is it's a beautiful thing to do, actually. And then we move on to our 5th and final of the 5 C's, and that is community. No one wants to do things alone, and so we want to make sure that we put a high importance of being uplifted by those around you, and also being in like a community, maybe multiple communities that are really knowledgeable, again, uplifting, grounding at the same time. And that might be part of, when you're going out and finding a really great mentor to work with. So they are the 5 C's, all beautifully summarized. On this was a gorgeous lady, Anna, who did this same webinar with me a little while ago. And again, I'll just read out oh gosh, I can't speak, what she shared about her experience. And so Anna wrote, for me, I really enjoyed listening to the Create Impactful Classes session. So that was one of the 5 secrets. As someone who's recently qualified, it was a great reminder that having theoretical knowledge is only one part of it, and putting those 6 or 7 key points into practice, really makes all the difference in your teaching. I think your session was incredibly down to earth and easy to understand, and it's clear your focus on people, amongst everything else, has led to such a success in the business. Thank you, Anna. That's lovely. Okay, so from here, guys, just another reminder if you missed this at the beginning, please jump on for a clarity call. Just grab your phone, scan that QR code. At the same time, I will pop the link into the chat. And so, yeah, again, if anything resonates with you and you want to go a little bit deeper into any of the topics and figure out what that next step is for you, that is what the clarity call is all about. And then I also just want to share, I do have, that is one of the next upcoming events, which is at my studio at Village Pilates. That is in Sydney, in St. Ives in Sydney. There is an opportunity if you don't live locally, to Zoom in. Just let me know so we can kind of make that work for you. Again, QR code down there, bottom right-hand side of the screen. I'm also going to throw the link in. Just give me a moment. Might get my little helper to do it. Okay, link is now in the chat. So that will be awesome to see you guys at that event. And this is, what is it? Oh, it's magnetic teaching methods. Yes. How to become a magnetic teacher. This is cool. There's some really awesome things in that one. And so now I'm just going to roll out into question time. So please throw your questions now into the chat and I will tackle some of them. Oh, cool. Alrighty. I'll see. And if I don't have time to do all of them, I should have time. Okay, so we're going to get one question from Brittany. So Brittany's asking some details about the personality types. And what have you written here, Britt? Oh, what do you use? Okay. Yeah, so Brittany, jump on a clarity call because we can go into more details. There's so many different ways of, so many different, what's it called? Modalities, I guess, of personality types. I personally work with Enneagram, and I work also with it's called, what used to be called PH 360 model. I think they've actually rebranded recently, and I'm not sure of their new name, but that's what I work on with personalities. Cool. And next question. Here we go. How much do you pay your instructors if you're opening up a new studio? Are you Monica? Okay. Yeah. Opening up your new studio, how much will you pay instructors? I can't actually answer that question because it depends on where you're located, what kind of area you're in, how experienced your instructors are, how much, uh, what's it called? outgoings you have. There's so many factors into it, and so it's not a blanket amount as much as that would be great, wouldn't it? Just be like, this is what we pay all instructors. You need to look at your business model, how much rent you have to pay, all these kind of things. So again, just jump on a clarity call and I can give you some helpful hints to try and figure out what that number is for you. Okay, next question. You're wanting to do, okay, so here we go. Robin. So Robin has, sorry, itchy eyeball. So Robin, you are wanting to offer reformer classes. How many reformer beds do you need to make it profitable? Okay. Again, it depends on your rent, your location, and things like that. I'll give you from my personal experience. In my studio, in my location, I need to have more than 11 beds in a reformer class. So our reformer classes have 14 in the room. But again, I'm in an area where it's a very affluent area. There is the rent is really, really high as well. So it might change. Um, okay, next question. Okay, Maria's asking, do I have it? Lisa, who is your mentor? All right, great question, Maria. I have a mentor who is outside of the Pilates industry. Her name is Pauline. She's been awesome. I've been working with her for over 5 years, which is great. And then over the years, I've had many mentors throughout the industry. Um, again, jump on a call and I can share those details with you. It just again depends on what you are looking for and where there might be kind of holes in what you're doing, or yeah, is it more? I think everyone needs more personal development. That's why my mentor is that's what she specializes in, and then I have other people that I go to in the industry as well. All right. So, any other questions? Throw them in the chat. I'll move on to we're getting to the end now. So, I'd love to know one thing that you've learnt from today. Pop it in the chat so we can share and other people can see what you've kind of taken from it. I know sometimes I sit on a webinar and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that part when someone says what they've learned. Oh, awesome. Thank you guys. Yeah, keep throwing it in the chat. It was such a pleasure to have you all here today. Um, so as I said before, loved, gosh, I think I've spoken enough. But yeah, lovely to have you all here. I'm going to send this recording your way once we're all finished up. I really look forward to seeing some of you on those clarity calls. And yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free if you want to send me an email and if you think of a question after the webinar is done, happy to reply to that. All right, guys, until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.